Deciding whether or not you should exercise when you're sick can be tough, and it's pretty normal to worry about losing your progress when you can't exercise. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at what the science has to say about what your best options are and what you can do to stay on track with your fitness goals while being sick. We have a few super interesting things to chat about in today's video, so let's jump right into the first one, which is something we often worry about when we get sick. We worry that we will lose our fitness levels. Those fitness levels we worked so hard to build up. We often think that once we get over this sickness, it will be really tough to get back into things. But that simply isn't what the science is saying. Training adaptations are much more rigid and lasts much longer than what 1 week of being sick can break down. When it comes to fitness, aerobic fitness, also known as cardiorespiratory fitness, is the most fragile system of them all. And this is both a good and a bad thing. The biggest part of aerobic fitness revolves around the powerhouse of the cell, the mitochondria. You see, each muscle has a bunch of these, let's call them power generators, and they use oxygen and nutrients to make energy for the muscles to use. So the more of these you have, the more energy the muscles will have available to use. The coolest thing of this is that in the first week of cardio training, this mitochondrial count can double. Meaning that within 1 week of appropriate training, you can literally get double as fit. But this also means that you can also very easily lose quite a bit of your cardio fitness fast. The latest science has showed that if you completely stop training, you will have around 8 days before you start to lose some of this mitochondrial adaptations. However, if you can get one good cardio session in every 5 days, you can maintain your cardio fitness for up to 3 weeks. That's pretty impressive, right? And if you spend more than a week off, you don't have that much to worry about either, because it'll only take you a week to regain your fitness levels anyways. The truth is, most of the adaptations that take place in people who call themselves casual trainers are mental adaptations. Getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. Another question I also often get is, how fast do you lose your muscle if you completely stop weight training? The short answer is within 2 to 4 weeks, we start to see significant changes. Studies looked into it, and although muscle size almost immediately drops during a week off, it's never permanent. And the study participants very quickly regain size when they started training again. This drop in size could have something to do with glycogen levels being low or hydration levels not being optimal, but we don't know for sure. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because it's only a temporary muscle flatness. So that's what happens in your body if you don't train when you get sick. Now let's look at what happens to your body if you do train when you get sick. Obviously, if you're really sick, then you won't exercise. But when it's just a little cold, drawing the line between exercising and not exercising gets a bit tricky. If your aim is to consistently stick to a program for optimal progress, then this decision isn't taken lightly. An important test we do in the fitness world is to firstly identify whether the symptoms are above or below the neck. If the symptoms are above the neck, meaning a sore throat, some slight coughing or a runny nose, then it might be okay to train. But if the symptoms are below the neck, meaning body aches, a painful airway, congested chest, fevers or upset stomachs, then you should definitely avoid training. But as I always say, the body is beautifully complex, and the real answer to this goes a bit deeper. Many things should be considered when making the decision on whether to exercise when you're sick or not. Something not everybody knows is that when you exercise, your heart also adapts. The ventricular walls that pump the blood enlarges, just the slightest bit. This is usually great. This means that the stronger heart muscle can now pump blood more effectively. However, this becomes a little bit problematic when the muscle becomes so big that there just isn't enough space in the ventricle for blood anymore. Luckily, this only happens to extreme athletes that train more than 6 hours a day for many years. But it can also happen to people who exercise while they're sick. In certain situations, the blood pressure in your lungs or elsewhere in the body can increase while you're sick. And this means that the heart will have to pump harder. If done enough times in your life, this could eventually lead to an abnormally enlarged heart, which is something you really don't want. So keep this in mind next time you want to go exercising when you're sick. Heavy lifting and cardio sessions are big no-nos. Medicines also play a major role in this decision process and can often be a point of concern for people who are sick. So here are the major things about medicine that you should know. If you're on cortisone, you'll most likely experience an appetite increase. Now, when you hear this, you should immediately go, calorie deficit. If I eat more food in a day than my body needs, then I'll gain weight. Cortisone also influences water retention. So odds are if you get on the scale while using cortisone, you'll notice a bit of weight gain. However, this really doesn't mean anything. If you stick to your calorie guidelines, everything should be fine. If you've been prescribed antibiotics, then you should be careful of dehydration. And if you train while dehydrated, your blood volumes can be low, which could lead to fainting while you exercise and some other unwanted side effects. Interesting, right? The medicine you should be most careful of combining with exercise is pain medication. Some pain meds contain beta blockers, and beta blockers blocks the stimulation of the heart to increase pumping speeds. This means that your heart's total blood output gets limited. This means that when you're working out and the body needs more blood at the muscles to get rid of the muscle workout byproducts, it can't increase the heart's ability to move blood faster. It also can't supply more oxygen, meaning the muscle can go hypoxic without oxygen. So if you exercise hard enough while on a beta blocker, this could literally cause the tissue to die. Not good. So now that you have a better picture regarding medicine, you can probably see why it's so important to consult with the doctor on whether the medicine you're taking has an effect on exercise or not. Something we all know but don't always think about is when you're sick, your immune system is compromised. And what this actually means is your body is definitely not looking to build muscle or increase fitness during this time. It's focusing all of its attention on getting you healthy again. And what we should remember is that working out in itself is a catabolic action. During a workout, we break down the body with the hopes that it realizes the next time it needs to be better, stronger, and fitter. But if you're sick, the body is already in a broken down state. Therefore, you really shouldn't stress it even more by introducing more stressors like workouts. It's easy to say, yeah, makes sense, I guess I won't work out for a bit. But what I often realize with my clients is they connect their exercise habits with their healthy eating habits. So when times like these come and they stop exercising, they throw everything out the window, not just the training. And that's the biggest downfall for most. So taking all of this into consideration, what are my top tips for staying on track while sick? Number 1, stick to your healthy nutrition guidelines. You don't have to eat as much, but don't go pumping your body full of junk food to try and make you feel better. The better the fuel you put in your body, the faster your body will be able to recover itself. Number 2, it's better to give the body appropriate rest time than to keep loading it while it's down. Number 3, when taking medicines, focus on what you eat and remember to drink enough water. Medicines don't make you gain weight. What you eat makes you gain weight. Number 4, don't step on the scale while you're sick. It's not going to do anybody any good. Skip the scale for 2 weeks, get back up to speed, and continue where you left off. Something I had to learn many years ago is that healthy living and looking after your body never starts over. It's always pick up where you left off. See it as a long-term road you're walking to a better, healthier you. If you're watching this video while you're sick, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope you get better really quick. Look after yourself and use your common sense. Don't make others sick too. And feel free to spend some time on my YouTube page learning about all the cool fitness and health science facts that I've made available right at your fingertips. Who knows, maybe you'll even subscribe. Cool, that's it for today's video. I really hope you got some value from this. I'll see you in the next one. Mondays as always. Cheers.